Hi everyone, it's me again. It's me, Lady G, also known as Tiffany. Mostly known as Tiffany, that's my real name. Today I'm going to do a video that I've been saying that I was gonna do for a long time. I've been saying that I was gonna do it to people on Instagram that's been asking me certain things based on what I will post. I've also been hinting to it on my blog. Okay, so stop now. No, don't stop now. But when you finish here, you'll see in the description box below, you'll see the link to my blog, and you can go and check that. And I've been hinting to this story and this whole thing experience for like months, but I haven't really just did it and put it in a video. So that's why I'm going to do it now. Without further ado, here is my video on the 5 things that I've done. I wrote it down because sometimes I get a little scatterbrained. But the 5 things I did to get my period back when I stopped getting it, basically. Now, sometime last year, I stopped getting my period. Okay, I know that that's a lot to say out here. But the reason why I feel that it's important for women especially, and just people to share their experiences, which could be a completely other video, is because a lot of times when people share their experiences, and you don't have to be anybody on any sort of platform or whatever it is that sometimes there are other people out there, and a lot of times there are other people out there, and that's probably why you're watching this video, that just need some sort of seed of information to see where they should go, what to ask their doctor, should be their next step, because a lot of times they're not getting it from the people that they're asking from in their regular life. So I think a lot of times I'm gonna get all like new agey on you, but I feel that a lot of the information and the things that we receive during our lives and our experiences are not all the time for us. Okay, it's for us, but then it's also for us to share with other people. That is probably why so many people watch YouTube. Literally, I watch YouTube a lot. I watch YouTube videos while I'm cooking, all sorts of things. So that is why I feel it's necessary for people to share their information when they do receive, or when they have certain experiences. On the same token, I must say that I am not a doctor. That is my disclaimer. I'm not a doctor. I don't, anything that I say here was from my personal experience. You can go and try it on your own, but that's on your accord. Do not get mad at me or try to sue me or nothing like that. I'm not a doctor. All this stuff is what I did on my own, okay? So as I was saying, early on last year, 2016, I think it was 16 or 15, anyway, one of those years, I can't even remember right now because I'm tired, but Aunt Flo, as they like to say it, just stopped coming, okay? And yeah, you think, oh, maybe I'm pregnant or anything, and I wasn't. It just stopped coming. I was taking the pill and I had stopped getting my period, and then I stopped taking the pill, and then it continued to not come while I was on the pill, and I was on like the lowest dose possible. The doctor was like, if you don't, basically this is all you can take, or else you won't be on anything. I went to my doctor and I asked him, and I'm not even if he may see this whole thing, it's nothing against him, but the doctor really didn't have much to say. He didn't have a very good big explanation as to why this may happen. He says, oh, this happens sometimes with some women, they just don't get it, or it may not come certain months. But I got a little concerned, because I don't care what anybody says. So I know some women do go and use the pill that makes them not have their period for a certain amount of time. I'm just not down with that. I want my body to just kind of do what it's meant to do, and naturally. Previously, before, I had come off the pill, I have a son, I had come off the pill, and then the next month got my period, no problem. It was never really ever like that. I was very, very concerned. And so I started to, again, like I said, I asked the doctor. He didn't really have many recommendations. He's like, oh, I don't know, maybe it's your body. Maybe your body will get back on track. But to me, it wasn't okay. Doing tons and tons and tons and tons and tons of research, I came up with a short list, as I said, of things that I did, and I finally got it to come back every month like clockwork. And it's been coming back for at least 6 months now. So, I think I might have figured it out. So the first thing I did was quit the pill, okay? I stopped any sort of hormonal birth control because obviously I knew it had to do with hormones. So I'm not to my own horn, but I'm not stupid. You know, I know the correlation between certain things, and I know how hormones, basically how your hormones can really mess you up if you're not taking care of them. And I think that we just by default, us women, will just go on the pill because we think, okay, we don't want to get pregnant, but we're not really thinking about the long-term effects of it. And I have 4 years actually been looking into the certain things that your body can start to get depleted of when you're using the pill. And I tried to supplement in the meantime, taking like B12 and magnesium and all sorts of things, but it just, I guess it didn't work. And so I stopped taking the pill, as I said. But I continued to not get my period, and so I kept doing these other things. The thing I did was I actually switched completely all of my feminine products, okay? I used to use the same thing, Kotex, Always, I don't even remember the rest of the names. Tampax. I used to use all the ones that are usually find in CVS, you know, any of the regular drugstores. I stopped using all of them, okay? What did I start using? Started using the more natural and other types of alternative things, okay? So I started using cups. They have like menstrual cups, period cups. They have the Diva cup, soft cup. They have other ones, the Luna cup. I've only ever really used a couple of them, but it doesn't matter. That type of apparatus, I started using those that are more like collection and really your body doesn't absorb anything from them, because a lot of times, and a lot of people don't think about it, but your body absorbs a lot of the chemicals and crap that's in the products that you're using, and you're putting it in and on yourself. So I stopped using a lot of those things. And if I was going to use any sort of tampon or pad, I use all organic, okay? I'm gonna leave in the down bar below some of my recommendations, but basically I did a whole blog post about it, and I'm gonna leave that there and you can go check it out. And you'll have the links to the things that I used in the down bar below. You know, I'll probably do another video about the Diva cup and all of that stuff, or just a cup period, because a lot of them just work pretty much the same, where it's just collecting fluids inside as opposed to having anything that absorbs within you, okay? And it took a little getting used to, but I'm sold, okay? I haven't gone back. The reason why I did that, as I mentioned already, is that yes, there are a lot of things that your body absorbs, and also it has been proven that there are some toxins and carcinogens and a lot of other things that are in the products that you'll find, your regular everyday products, that are not really good for your body in the long run. And we just kind of have been used to using the things that we've been using forever, but you know, we don't really look at the ingredients that are on there and Google those and research those. And it wasn't up until recently that a lot of those ingredients were even on the package, okay? Again, in the down bar below, because I did a whole blog post about it. Next thing that I did is I really started to be very mindful of my stress levels, because your stress, boy, will mess you up. Stress is different to each person. Like, I don't think that people really think about that much. You know, I may get stressed out about the fact that, you know, I want my olive oil organic, okay? And somebody else is like, why are you so mad about organic olive oil? It's just olive oil. I had to control my stress and anger level, because it wasn't until I started doing a lot of research, like I said, that I realized how much those things affect you. And also being mindful, and this is not even on my list, really want to take control of your environment. Even having to sometimes detox some people out of your life, and it's not saying that you need to do certain things, but there are sometimes when you need to change your complete situation in order for you to be just more at peace with certain things. And it may even be family, it may even be all sorts of people, co-workers. You may just have to put a block up and say, this is not, I'm not going to live my life with you in my mental space, because those things can contribute to your stress. Because I just can't be bothered. Now I can't even think about it, but I can't even be bothered, because it just my stress levels were all over the place. The thing I did, and I'm just getting into supplementing. So again, I'm gonna say, I'm not a doctor. This is what I did. If you're gonna do these certain things, you can go and you can check out my, the post about it. But anything you do is on your accord. And the first one that I did take was called Maca. If you look it up, a couple of blog posts about it. One I actually got on Huffington Post, yay me. Again, you'll find that in the description box below. But this, actually, I started to take maca powder. It is a tuber root thing, kind of like I think it's like cousin of the radish or something like that. But again, you'll find all the information below. And it's native to Peru, and it is used as an adaptogen. So basically it comes into your body and it tries to level out your hormones. So basically it tries to raise whatever needs to be raised, whether it be progesterone, I always mess up that word, or estrogen. It starts to raise what needs to be raised and lower what needs to be lowered. It doesn't actually do anything in your body as far as like, it's not going to give you a boost of estrogen. It's actually just going to level out the levels that are already in your body. So did a lot of research on the types of maca, and I actually tried a couple of different ones. And this was the brand that I actually love the most. It's from the Maca team, and they have several different ones. They have yellow, I think black, and then like a mixed one, and they have a red one. Red maca is the one that they recommend for women. I think the one they have is the black for men most of the time, and then yellow is one that everybody can take. It is organic, it's non-GMO, it's fairly traded. You know, I've only really found a bunch of good reviews on the internet about it, and I took it and it's helped. I started taking it, my period started to come back, but it wasn't back to like, you know, clockwork, but it started to come back. So I was like, it has a bunch of different benefits. Some people use it for energy, some people use it for libido. That's up to you. But it really did help when it came to hormones. So I'm gonna leave that in the description box below. You can go and check that out. I'll leave the Huffington Post article as well that I did with them, and you can check that out in the description box below. Last thing I did, and the last supplement that I did take, and once I started taking this, I started actually getting it back on pretty much clockwork. 28 days. But don't get me wrong, this, if you're gonna start like tippy-toe into stuff, you know, supplementation for your hormones, start with this, because this really helped, and it has a bunch of other, you know, benefits, not just only for your hormones, and it is an adaptogen, so it's not really going to do anything else. It's going to just work with what's already in your body and level out those levels. The next thing I started to take, and it was based on a ton of research that I did, was DIM. It's a long word, not that long, but it's long enough, and I'm not even gonna embarrass myself saying it. No, I'm not gonna do it. What this is DIM, and I'm gonna explain it in a second, but this does have bioperine, which I'm pretty sure 100% that is pepper, and pepper helps a lot of different supplements, even turmeric, a lot of different things just become way more bioavailable in the body, which means that it's able to, it actually works. It makes the thing work better in your body. What DIM is, it's basically made from cruciferous vegetables, okay, which includes like Brussels sprouts, cauliflower, broccoli, those types of things. So that actually, if you were to eat a ton, like 2 pounds of broccoli and all those sorts of things, which nobody really wants to do in one sitting, it would have the effect of this, and this is what I'm going to tell you about. What this does is cycle out of your body all of the extra estrogen that you may have floating around in your body. Whether we know it or aware of it or not, our bodies get a lot of exposure from what they call xenoestrogens. I'm not a scientist, I'm not going to get into these things, but you can take all this information, like I'm saying, and then you can start to Google it and do your own research. But our bodies start to get exposed to a lot of xenoestrogens, things that are mess with our hormone receptors, our estrogen receptors, all sorts of things in our body, whether it be the pesticides, whether it be certain chemicals in our soaps, whether it be certain chemicals in our lotions, and a lot of things that just unlock those things and heighten our estrogen levels in our body, both for women and men. Increased levels of estrogen, our hormones start to get kind of screwed up. So I decided to start taking this to try to help my body process and get rid of a lot of the extra estrogen. And if it didn't work, it didn't work. It wasn't gonna hurt me, because it was just pretty much based on, you know, freaking vegetables. I took it for 30 days and I started to get my period. I got my period instead of 48 days. and that went from like not having my period at all for months, and like I said, I started with this, and then I started to get my period like every 40 days, every 48 days, whatever it was. So at least it was showing up. When I started using this, I started getting 35 days. Then went back to 28. And it's been months. It's been months, and I've had it for basically for months, and I've been taking this not as religiously as I was when I was trying to get it to come, but I still take it on a somewhat regular basis in order to try to help my body process a lot of the extra estrogen that I may have floating around. Now overall, I think it was kind of my complete overhaul that made it come back. I do think that these two had a lot to do with it, and I definitely believe that me switching feminine products had a lot to do with it. But I think it was just me saying, screw this, I'm gonna figure this out myself, that really just, you know, spearheaded the whole thing and made it all happen. I hope that something that I said in this whole video will help somebody out there, because I know that there's a lot of women that deal with a lot of these issues. Again, I'm gonna leave the links to all the things that I've mentioned in the description box below. You can always find me if you have questions or anything on Instagram at itsmeladyg. You can always find me on my blog at itsmeladyg.com. I have an email thing there. If you want to go and email me, you can certainly do that. And this is just for you to go and start to do your own research and take your health in your own hands, because a lot of times, like what they always say, so cliche, you are your biggest health advocate. And I've learned that. That's it for this one. I know it was a long one, and hopefully it wasn't too long, but hopefully it was educational. If you did find this useful, please make sure to hit the like button and make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. But thanks again for listening, and I'll see you guys next time.